Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, February 26, 2026. Today we will go over the college basketball, NBA, NHL, and soccer look ahead to today's games. We will recap the first episode of Survivor 50 on this day, news and notes, and best bet. We'll begin with college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. Bucknell over Army 75-73, Morgan State over SC State 90-83, BC over Wake 68-67, Furman over the Citadel 72-51, Oakland over Iowa-Windy 86-74, number 6 UConn over number 15 St. John 72-40, number 7 Florida over Texas 84-71, number 12 Nebraska over Maryland 74-61, number 25 Vandy over Georgia 88-80, Illinois State over Northern Iowa 71-69, Lafayette over Colgate 70-69, Lehigh over American 78-73, St. Joe's over George Mason 81-63, Davidson over Duquesne 67-56, Charlotte over North Texas 80-79, BU over Holy Cross 78-63, Villanova over Butler 82-73, Navy over Loyola Maryland 78-51, South Dakota over Omaha 89-72, Robert Morris over Detroit 73-62, Rice over Purdue Fort Wayne 74-70, Northern Kentucky over Cleveland State 81-70, Western Carolina over Mercer 78-74, Wofford over ETSU 72-69, West Georgia over Lipscomb 84-77, Queens over Eastern Kentucky 96-79, Belmont over Evansville 98-64, Tulsa over Tulane 90-56, Providence over Xavier 94-84, Valpo over Drake 74-71, Southern Illinois over Indiana State 66-55, South Florida over Rice 75-56, East Carolina over UTSA 82-81, Stanford over Pitt 75-67, Milwaukee over Youngstown State 78-65, James Madison over Georgia Southern 82-66, South Alabama over UL Monroe 89-54, Central Arkansas over Austin Peay 93-88, number 9 Gonzaga over Portland 89-48, number 17 Alabama over Mississippi State 100-75, Seattle over Pepperdine 87-80, Colorado over Kansas State 79-70, Iowa over Ohio State 74-57, Grand Canyon over UNLV 80-67, DePaul over Creighton 72-71, LSU over Ole Miss 106-99 in double OT. That looks like an NBA score. Number 20 Arkansas over Texas A&M 99-84, North Alabama over Bellarmine 73-68, Oregon State over San Diego 92-82 in OT, Cal over SMU 73-69. I think that was my best bet, so that won. So I'm off the schneid for the week. LMU over Wazoo 67-66, St. Mary's over Santa Clara 86-67, Oregon over Wisconsin 85-71, and San Diego State over Utah State 89-72. All right, today's game's 11 o'clock a.m., second day in a row with an 11 a.m. game. This time it's in the Coastal Charleston-Hampton. My line is Charleston 4.7, and it is 5.5 and 140.5. I will take the over. 5 o'clock, Rhode Island, St. Bonaventure. I have St. Bonaventure by 3. It's 2.5, 144.5. I'll take the over. 6 o'clock, New Hampshire, Binghamton. I have Binghamton 2 3/4. It's New Hampshire 1.5, total 140.5. I'll take Binghamton plus 1.5, plus 116. Bryant, UMBC. I have UMBC by 12 3/4, and it's 10.5 and 139.5. I'll lay the points with UMBC. 6:30, Bethune Grambling. I have Bethune 3.3. 1.5, 141.5. I'll take the over. Maine, Albany. I have Albany 5.5. And it is 6.5, 135.5 over. Temple, FAU 7 o'clock, ESPN 2. I have FAU 2.8. And it is 4.5 and 146.5. Another over. Winthrop, Charleston Southern. I have Winthrop 5 3/4. And it's 6.5, 162.5 under. USC Upstate Radford. I have Radford 8.1. And it's 6.5 and 154.5. Over. Don't feel good about it though. UNC Asheville Gardner Webb. I have Asheville by 8. It's a whopping 13.5. Total 145.5. I'll take Gardner Webb in the points. High Point Presbyterian, ESPNU. I have High Point 8.4. And it's 11.5, 151.5. I'll take Presbyterian in the points. Mercyhurst, Central Connecticut. I have Central Connecticut 4.6. And it is 5.5 and 137.5. I'll take the over. New Haven, Wagner. I have Wagner 3.2. It's 1.5 and 139.5. I'll take the over. St. Francis, Stonehill. I have Stonehill 6 3/4. And it is 5.5 and 140.5. I'll take the over. Chicago State, LIU. I have LIU 15.9. And that is 12.5 and 139.5. I'll lay the points with LIU. Fairleigh Dickinson, Lemoyne. I have Lemoyne 3.3, and it's 5.5 and 139.5. I'll take FDU in the points. UMass Lowell, Vermont. I have Vermont by 9. And it is 10.5, 146.5. I'll take the over. Campbell, Drexel. I have Drexel by 4. And it's 1.5, 141.5. I'll lay the 1.5 with Drexel. Elon, Towson. I have Towson by 8. And it's 5.5, 143.5. I'll lay it with Towson. Although some might say that's a high number. NCAT, UNC, Wilmington. I have Wilmington 18.5. And it's 13.5, 146.5. I'll lay the points. Stony Brook, Monmouth. I have Monmouth 2.5. It's 4.5, 143.5. I'll take Stony Brook plus the 4.5. Northeastern, William and Mary. I have William and Mary 11 3/4. And it's 11.5, 164.5 under. UNC Greensboro, Chattanooga. I have Chattanooga by 4.5. And it's 3.5, 155.5. I'll take the over. Stetson, Jacksonville. I have Jacksonville 3.5. And it is 6.5, 139.5. I'll take Stetson in the points. FGCU North Florida. I have FGCU 5.5. And it is, that's what it is. And 161.5 is the total. I'll go under. CBS Sports Network, Delaware, Jack State. I have Jack State 7.5. It's 7.5, 134.5. I'll take the over. Liberty, Kennesaw State. I have Liberty 4.3. Liberty actually finally lost in conference play the other day. 2.5 and 153.5. I'll go over. Missouri State, La Tech 7:30. My line is La Tech 6.5. And it is 2.5 and 136.5. I'll lay the points with Louisiana Tech. UTEP, MTSU. I have MTSU 7.5 and the 7.5, 138.5. I'll take the over. New Mexico State, Western Kentucky. My line is Western 4.1. It's 5.5, 151.5. I'll also go over. 8 o'clock on Peacock. Number 13, Michigan State. Number 2, Purdue. Or, I'm sorry, number 8, Purdue. Great Big Ten game. Probably the game of the night. My line's Purdue 4.7. And it is 7.5 and 141.5. I'll take the Spartans getting 7 up. That is a high number. Alcorn State, Texas Southern. I have Southern 7.25. And it is 7.5 and 149.5. I'll take the over. I don't feel good about it. Go. Denver, Oral Roberts. I have Denver 5.4. It's 4.5, 155.5. That's another over for me. South Dakota State, KC. I have South Dakota State 5.1. And it is 11.5 and 140.5. I'll take UMKC plus the points. That's high. VMI Samford. I have Samford 12.4, 17.5, 154.5. I'll take VMI in the points. Morehead State, Little Rock. I have Morehead State 0.1. And it's Little Rock 2.5 to 140.5. I'll take Morehead State plus 2.5 and plus 124 to win the game outright. I'm surprised that it's that low. That's in consideration for best bet. Tarleton State, Utah Valley. I have Utah Valley 9.5. It's 16.5 and 141.5. I'll take Tarleton State in the points. Florida A&M Southern at 8:30. Mine Southern 5.5. And Southern is 9.5, 140.5 is the total. I'll take Florida A&M in the points. Tennessee Tech, Tennessee Martin. I have Tennessee Martin 7.25. And it's 8.5, 134.5. I'll take the over. Western Illinois, SIU, Edwardsville. I have Edwardsville 14.7. And it's 14.5 and 134.5. I'll take the over. Tennessee State, Southeast Missouri. I have Southeast Missouri 2.7. 4.5, 155.5. I'll take the over. Eastern Illinois, Lindenwood. I have Lindenwood 9.1, 8.5, 144.5. Over. ESPN 2, 9 o'clock. Wichita State, Memphis. I have Wichita 0.3. Memphis is probably favored. Yeah, 1.5. So it's 146.5. I'll take the over, but I'm willing to throw Wichita State minus 105 in some parlays, like round robins. North Dakota State, St. Thomas. I have St. Thomas 0.8, and it is 3.5 and 154.5. I'll take North Dakota State plus the 3.5. UC Riverside, Santa Barbara. I have Santa Barbara 11.9, and that is 10.5, 143.5. I'll take the over. Hawaii, UC Davis. I have Hawaii 0.6, and it's 1.5, 149.5. I'll go over. Portland State, Montana State. I have Portland State 2.6. And it's Montana State 2.5 total 139.5. I'll take Portland State plus 2.5 and plus 120 to win the game outright. That's crazy. Sac State, Montana. I have Montana 8.8. And it is 7.5, 162.5 under. Northern Arizona, Idaho. I have Idaho 9.9. And it's 10.5, 146.5. I'll go over. Northern Colorado, Eastern Washington. I have Eastern 0.4. It's 1.5, 156.5. I'll take the over. Abilene Christian, Utah Tech. I have Tech 4 3/4. It's 3.5, 139.5. Over. CBS Sports Network, FIU, Sam Houston. I have Sam Houston 8.8. And it's 6.5 and 164.5. I will lay 6.5 with Sam Houston. 9:30 Jackson State Prairie View. I have Prairie View 0.2. And it is 5.5, 164.5. I'll take Jackson State getting 5.5. 10 o'clock, Long Beach State, Cal Poly. I have Cal Poly 7.3. 4.5, 159.5. I'll lay the points. UC Irvine, Cal State, Northridge. I have Northridge 2.3. 1.5, 154.5. I'll take the over. Bakersfield, UC San Diego. I have UC San Diego 13.7. That's 14.5, 150.5. I'll go over. And last but not least, Texas Arlington, Cal Baptist. I have Cal Baptist 7.25. And it's 6.5 and 133.5. I will also take the over. Now I'll move on to the NBA. We'll recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight, where we have 10 games, which is a lot for a Thursday in the association. Pistons over the Thunder 124-116. Spurs over the Raptors 110-107. Warriors over the Grizzlies 133-112. Rockets over the Kings 128-97. Bucks upset the Cavs 118-116. And the Nuggets over the Celtics 103-84. And Jaylen Brown did play, but I don't think he's healthy. That's not a good loss for the Celtics. All right, so tonight 7 o'clock, Hornets Pacers. My line is Hornets 13 3/4. A lot of injuries and sits for Indy. 13 229.5 over. 7 o'clock, Heat Sixers. I have the Sixers 4 1/8. 2 240.5. I'll lay the 2. 7:30 Wizards Hawks. I have the Hawks 11 5/8. 9.5 and 235.5. I'll lay the 9.5. Spurs Nets. I have San Antonio 16 7/8, and that is 10.5, 224.5. I'll lay with San Antonio. Prime Video Rockets Magic. I have the Rockets 4 1/4. It's 2.5 and 215.5 over. That's low. 8 o'clock Blazers Bulls. I have the Bulls by 5, and it is Blazers 3.5. The Blazers are sitting everybody. What the hell? What the fucking hell? Bulls are winning this outright. Plus 150. Screw the 3.5. Like, that's crazy. 8:30 Kings Mavs. I have the Mavs 9 1/8, and it is 7.5 and 234. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock Lakers Suns. I have the Lakers by 6. It's 5.5, 223.5. I'll take the over. Pelicans Jazz. I have the Jazz by only 1/8, and it is Pelicans 6.5 total 244.5. I think there is value on the Jazz getting 6 in the hook and plus 198 outright. Pels are sitting people too. So Bulls and the Jazz money line parlay would be interesting. There's two dogs to an outright. And then 10 o'clock on Prime Video, T-Wolves Clippers. I have the T-Wolves by 13. It's 8.5, 220.5. I'll lay the 8.5 with the Timberwolves. Okay, now move on to hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. I think tonight's a big window because Thursdays usually they have a lot of games. Sabres over the Devils 2-1. Caps over the Flyers 3-1. Lightning over the Leafs 4-2. Stars over the Kraken 4-1. Avs over the Mammoth 4-2. Jets over the Canucks 3-2 in OT. Golden Knights over the Kings 6-4. And the Ducks over the Oilers 6-5. A lot of games tonight. 7 o'clock. Jackets Bruins. Bruins minus 111. Jackets minus 108. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 265. Bruins minus 1.5 plus 210. I think the Bruins are short here. I would lay the minus 111. Isles Canadians. Habs minus 146. Isles plus 122. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 112. Unders minus 138. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 215. Habs minus 1.5 plus 172. I like the Islanders at plus 122. Red Wings Senators. Sens minus 152. Red Wings plus 126. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 205. Sens minus 1.5 plus 164. I don't know why the Red Wings are such a big underdog. I don't think Vegas believes in them, but I do. I'm taking them plus 126. Leafs Panthers. Panthers minus 164. Leafs plus 136. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 184. Panthers minus 1.5 plus 146. I like the over at plus money. Devils Penguins. Pens minus 160, Devils plus 132, over under 5.5, overs minus 132, unders plus 108. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 196, Pens minus 1.5 plus 158. I'm gonna go adjusted over 6.5. I think that is cutting it short with the total. Over 6.5 plus 124. Lightning Hurricanes, great game. Canes minus 146, Lightning plus 122, over under 6.5, overs plus 106, unders minus 130. Bolts plus 1.5 is minus 15, Canes minus 1.5 plus 172, I like the over at plus 106. 8 o'clock, ESPN. Flyers Rangers from MSG. If the Rangers are favored, I'm going to lose my mind. They have no business being favored. With minus 146, that is absolutely ridiculous. The Flyers, I think, have more points. Yeah! I don't understand why the Rangers are a big favorite at home against the Flyers. Like, the Rangers are out of the mix. The Flyers are hanging around a little bit. I mean, I think it should be Flyers minus 120. Like, that is ridiculous. That is blatant favoritism towards a team that's going absolutely nowhere this season. They're minus 146. The Flyers are plus 122. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 140. Unders plus 114. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 210. Rangers minus 1.5 plus 168. I'm taking Philly. In the plus 122. I think it's ridiculous that the Rangers are favored. Kraken Blues. Blues minus 142. Kraken plus 118. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 215. Blues minus 1.5 plus 172. I'm going to take the Kraken as a dog. That's disrespectful. Plus 118. I think there's a lot of missed lines here. For sure. Blackhawks, Preds. Preds minus 170. Blackhawks plus 140. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Hawks plus 1.5 is minus 178. Preds minus 1.5 plus 142. I like the under at minus 118. 9 o'clock, Wild Avalanche. Avs minus 150. Wild plus 125. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 200. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 160. I'm going to go with the over even money. 10 o'clock, Flames Sharks. Sharks minus 130. Flames plus 108. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 245. Sharks minus 1.5 plus 190. I'm going to go with the over at minus 102. Last but not least, 10:30 ESPN. Oilers Kings. Pick a minus 110 HY over under 6.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Oilers minus 1.5 plus 220. Kings plus 1.5 is minus 280. I'm going to go with the Kings at home at minus 110. Okay, now we will go to soccer. We'll go over today's results. It was a Europa and Conference League. We'll look ahead to tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if I'm going to pick the games. We'll see. Europa League, Ferencváros over Ludogorets 2-0. Ferencváros advances 3-2 on aggregate. Lille over Red Star 2-0 in additional extra time. Lille advances 2-1 on aggregate. Celtic over VfB Stuttgart 1-0. Stuttgart advances 4-2 on aggregate. Victoria Plzen, Panathinaikos 1-1 draw. Tied on aggregate. Panathinaikos advances 4-3 on penalties. Bologna over SK Braun 1-0. Bologna advances 2-0 on aggregate. Celta Vigo over PAOK 1-0. Celta Vigo advances 3-1 on aggregate. Fenerbahce over Nottingham 2-1. Nottingham advances 4-2 on aggregate. Racing Genk Dynamo Zagreb 3-3 draw. Racing Genk advances 6-4 on aggregate. Conference League. Jagiellonia over Fiorentina 4-2 in additional extra time. Fiorentina advances 5-4 on aggregate. So Jagiellonia made it more interesting than you would think. NK Celje over Drodita Jalan 3-2. Celje advances 6-4 on aggregate. Rijeka over Omania 3-1. Rijeka advances 4-1 on aggregate. Samspor over KF Skandija 4-0. Samspor advances 5-0 on aggregate. AZ Alkmaar over FC Noah 4-0. AZ Alkmaar advances 4-1 on aggregate. Crystal Palace over Zerjinski 2-0. Crystal Palace advances 3-1 on aggregate. Sigma over Lausanne Sports 2-1. Sigma advances 3-2 on aggregate. And Lech Poznan over KUPS Kwapo 1-0. Lech advances 3-0 on aggregate. Pro League, Alpha Tay, and Damak 1-1 draw, and Al Ali over Al Raida 1-0. Going on right now is Guarani and Juventud. And then coming up at 7:30, Deportes Tolima and Deportivo Tocaria in Libertadores. I'm going to go over 2.5 in that game. All right, and then CONCACAF tonight, 7 o'clock, Fox Sports 1. Philadelphia Union and Defense Force FC from Subaru Park in Chester. I'm sure the Union are a marginal favorite here at home. They lead 5-0 in aggregate, so they should close it out tonight. They're minus 3,000. Defense Force is 50-1. The draw 17-1. I'm gonna go under 4.5 goals, minus 110. I think the Union might just play it easy and conservative tonight. And in CONMEBOL Recopa 7:30, Flamengo and Lanús. Lanús leads 1-0 in aggregate. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals. I'm just checking the times for tomorrow for the games. You know what? We'll pick tomorrow's games on tomorrow's show because they're all later in the afternoon. Okay, now we'll move on to Survivor. Season 50 premiered last night. It was a very interesting episodes from all aspects. So, of course, the 24 returning players began their adventure. Jeff welcomed everybody and what it meant to, and they all said what it meant to return. And then the three tribes were revealed. Vatu won the opening reward challenge, earning the Flint. The supply challenge was Ozzy, Coach, and Q. They had to retrieve 3 bags of sticks and twine by climbing a pole, digging in sand, and swimming out to the buoy. Once all 3 bags were retrieved, they tied the sticks together to make the long pole that extended to get the key. And the player that got the key won the supplies. Ozzy knocked off the key post, but Coach stole it and won the challenge. Those two have a rivalry. They have some history. And following the challenge, Ozzy and Q read what they hoped was a reward clue, only to find out that they were now exiled to Exile Island for losing the challenge. The next morning, they were told they had to agree one would give up the vote, but would get supplies while the other would gain the given up vote. Ozzy convinced Q to give up his vote, and Q got the supplies. The immunity challenge, the players had to climb up and down cargo nets and then crawl in pairs through a mud tunnel. And the players had to push a cage filled with coconuts onto a platform. And then 2 other players had to unload the coconuts. And then the 5th player tossed the coconuts into the net to release the crate with the weighted rope. And then the 6th player had to use the rope to activate a lever, releasing the ramp. And then the players climbed to the ramp. And the last 2 players had to make the Survivor 50 puzzle to win immunity. And the challenge got paused because Kyle hurt his ankle and was unable to put weight on his leg, but he was able to finish the challenge. Sela lost due to Sari taking too long to drop the ramp, but the tribe unanimously ended up voting out Jenna, a tribal council, due to her playing aggressively early. I think that Sari should have been the one to leave because I look at her as like the liability in the challenge, but I think she made the case to her team to keep her. And then on the fourth day, Genevieve and Stephanie found a boomerang idol that had to be assigned to someone on another tribe, which was Billie Eilish's idol. The Hands and the Fans and celebrities being involved. This player could not use the idol for anyone else, and if they were voted out with it in their possession, it would boomerang back to the finder. Genevieve smartly assigned the idol to Ozzy. And then the Journey Challenge, Colby, Mike, and Savannah were the selected players from each tribe, but only 2 could play. They drew rocks, and Mike lost out. Colby and Savannah had to build a tower 1 piece at a time, alternating turns until the tower fell. The winner kept their vote at the tribal. Colby lost his vote, and after Colby departed, Savannah was informed that she also won a block of vote advantage. Although Kyle was feeling better on day 4, medical showed up to the camp to run tests. He was diagnosed with a likely rupture of his Achilles tendon, and he was medically evacuated from the game, and that's how the episode ended. I honestly think that had Kyle not been medically evacuated, the beginning of day 4 would have started the next episode. All right, so superlatives. My favorite part of the episode was probably when Ozzy right away volunteered just so he can go head to head with Coach in the supply challenge. Least favorite part was seeing Kyle get injured. I was a big fan of Kyle's in season 48. He obviously won that season, and it was just sad what happened to him with the ankle injury. That just broke my heart seeing that. I still think Joe's gonna win. Next out, I'm gonna say the tribe that goes to tribal council. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Vatu goes to tribal, and this is a hard one. Or I'm sorry, I think Kylo, or actually, I'm gonna say the tribe that goes to tribal is Kalo, and I think Coach goes home. Because I think that the narrative might get leaked out with Ozzy. So I'm going to say Coach is next out, and Kalo obviously goes to tribal council. Okay, now we're going to do On This Day. That is obviously brought to you by All Sports News. They post on Instagram daily. 2023, Damian Lillard scores 71 points. 2023, Manny Machado signs 11-year, $350 million extension with the San Diego Padres, which was a crazy-ass extension and one of the worst contracts in baseball. 2019, Nolan Arenado signs 8 years, $260 million extension with the Rockies, another bad contract. 2023, the Hawks hire Quinn Snyder. He's not their coach anymore. Or he is their coach still, I think. Yeah, he is. I was thinking of Nate McMillan. 2018, the Sharks acquire Evander Kane. 2023, Devils acquire Timo Meyer. 2023 was busy. 2022, St. Mary's upsets number 1 Gonzaga. 2023, Predators hire Barry Trotz as general manager. 2018, the Jets acquire Paul Stastny. 2015, the Panthers acquire Jaromir Jagr. 2018, the Lightning acquire Ryan McDonough from the Rangers. And 2023, Golden Knights acquire Ivan Barbashev. So 2023 was absolutely loaded on this day. All right, rapid fire news and notes. I started to do the NFL offseason stuff, but a lot of stuff is going on, so I might actually just scratch that and then announce on the podcast what I predicted for everybody in one show. Former baseball player Matt Holliday is selling his $12 million house features a $2 million swimming pool and a baseball field. Huh. SGA cleared to return to play Friday against the Nuggets after missing the last 9 games due to the abdominal. Good to see him back. Jalen Suggs back tonight against the Rockets. Kawhi's missing tonight's game. We mentioned that already. Jason Tatum a full go in Team 5x5. That is great news for Boston. Oh, James Harden missed the Bucks game with the fractured thumb. I guess he suffered that in the Knicks game, which was a blowout. The NBA won't send doctors to Utah as Mark Stein provides new details regarding Lauri Markkanen's MRI. The NFL GM report cards got leaked. The Giants got the worst overall mark. And then 7 teams were tied. And then Dolphins were first, and the Steelers were the worst in terms of the overall stuff. The Giants are open to a Kayvon Thibodeau trade as opposing teams believe that the Giants will move him. I kind of think they will too, because I think they realize he's not going to be what they thought he was and whatnot, and maybe they felt that he's an underachieving player. And I think Harbaugh has a lot to do with the changes that are coming. DeJounte Murray clears the air amid trade rumors that he requested a trade. He says, F a source. The Rebels are heartbroken by Lane Kiffin, as they're still upset that he left for LSU. Get over it. So, just an FYI, the NHL trade deadline is a week from tomorrow. We're going to be seeing more hockey trades. The Athletics want to lock up Nick Kurtz as he's received long-term extension offer. I think that is really good. Mets prospect Ryan Lambert is on a viral diet. He explains why he ate 30 raw eggs per day. Yikes. Anthony Richardson can seek a trade as the Colts give him permission to find a new team. The Titans acquired Jermaine Johnson from the Jets for nose tackle Devondre Sweat going back to the Jets. So that's an interesting trade. And Anthony Richardson's eye is healed as he's regained full vision after the injury. The Eagles are listening to A.J. Brown offers as Howie Roseman has different tone around potential trade. The Chiefs pursued Breece Hall as they were close to acquiring him last year, but the Jets want to retain him. I think the Jets did the right thing. They need talent. The Bears are receiving trade calls. Tyson Bagent and DJ Moore among names that teams are interested in. The Texans part ways with quarterback coach Gerard Johnson. I guess he was a fall guy for C.J. Stroud's poor performance against New England. That was a little late for that. The Cardinals are frustrated with Kyler Murray as they're headed for a breakup with the method of split to be determined. I am not surprised. Their team's eyeing Derek Carr as multiple contending teams have real interest in adding him. Maybe as a backup. Wow. The Titans are releasing Lloyd Cushenberry, who signed a 4-year, $50 million deal 2 years ago. That's a good center. That's me on the free agent market. So several teams are high on Isaiah Likely as he's poised for a nice payday in free agency. Max Scherzer is back to the Blue Jays. 1 year, $3 million. He could also earn $10 million in incentives. I think that is a great signing for the Blue Jays. I really do. And I think that he might still have a little bit left in the tank. Rick Pitino says that St. John's loss to UConn is all on me. I wouldn't say it's all on you, Pitino. I think that your team has something to do with that. NCAA proposes college football rules changes as D1 rules subcommittee pitches lessening punishments for targeting and offensive pass interference penalties, rules, and more. Scouts split on quarterbacks in the draft. Ty Simpson and Garrett Nussmeier under pressure at Combine after highly inconsistent seasons. Top DL prospect Peter Woods of Clemson will perform fully at Pro Day on March 12th as he will not work out. Jermod McCoy did not play for the Vols last season after tearing his ACL, but he will not take part in the Combine. Brady Tkachuk got drug tested after Team USA's win. So there you have it for news and notes. Best Bet brought to you by FanDuel. I have some options. I don't know if I like NBA tonight more than college basketball. I do like a lot in hockey, amazingly enough. There's a couple totals that I liked, and even alternate totals. Yeah, I did win with Cal last night for best bet, so I'm on the board for the week. Um, so I'm just gonna go with a safe NBA bet, and then it's just easy to go against teams that are tanking. So I'm gonna take the Spurs minus the 10.5 against the Nets. It's just the Spurs have been good to me in betting, and I think that Brooklyn, I cannot see Brooklyn being competitive. They have been very uncompetitive this calendar year. I can't tell you the last time I remember them winning a game. I think this is a blowout. So I'm going to lay a 10.5 on the road with the Spurs against the Brooklyn Nets, who don't have a home court advantage. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, like I did everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.